How do you tell someone you love that their dream makes you uncomfortable? How do you balance honesty with support? I never thought I'd be asking myself these questions, but here I am, sitting alone in our apartment, staring at my phone, waiting for a response that might never come. Let me start from the beginning, because understanding how we got here matters more than I realized. I met Emma 2 years ago at a coffee shop downtown. I was waiting for my order when I noticed her sitting by the window, sketching in a notebook. The afternoon sun was hitting her just right, illuminating the intricate sleeve tattoo that covered her entire left arm. It was stunning, a flowing design of cherry blossoms and koi fish that seemed to move when she did. I couldn't stop staring, which she definitely noticed. She looked up and caught me watching. Instead of being annoyed, she smiled. That smile changed everything. We started talking, and I learned that she was an artist herself, working in a local gallery while doing freelance illustration on the side. The tattoo, she explained, represented her journey from her hometown in Oregon to making it on her own in the city. Every element meant something specific to her. I fell for her immediately, not just because she was beautiful, though she absolutely was, but because of her passion. Emma approached life with this incredible energy, throwing herself completely into everything she cared about. Her art, her work, her relationships. When Emma loved something, she loved it with her whole heart. The tattoos were part of that passion. She'd been getting them since she turned 18, carefully planning each one, saving up money, researching artists. She treated her body like a canvas, and I genuinely admired that. In a world where so many people seemed afraid to express themselves, Emma was unapologetically herself. When we started dating officially, she had the full sleeve and a smaller piece on her right shoulder blade, a geometric design that incorporated her late grandmother's favorite flower. She told me about each tattoo on our third date, the stories behind them, what they meant to her. I listened for hours, fascinated by the way she lit up talking about them. Over the next 2 years, she added more ink, a delicate line of text along her ribcage, a quote from her favorite poet, a small matching tattoo with her sister on her ankle, a larger piece on her right forearm that took 3 sessions to complete, an abstract representation of music and sound waves because she played piano since childhood. Each time, she'd excitedly show me the designs beforehand, and I'd encourage her, tell her how amazing they'd look. And they did look amazing. Emma had impeccable taste and only worked with the best artists. Her tattoos weren't random or impulsive. They were carefully considered pieces of art that told the story of who she was. I love that about her. I loved her confidence, the way she owned her choices, the way she didn't care what anyone else thought. I never considered myself someone who had an opinion about tattoos one way or another. Before Emma, I dated people with tattoos and people without them. It just wasn't something I thought about much. If someone wanted to get tattooed, that was their choice. If they didn't, that was fine too. I certainly never thought I'd be the kind of person who'd have a problem with it. But then about 3 months ago, Emma started talking about her next piece. She'd been planning it for over a year, she said. A large chest piece, something that would span from collarbone to collarbone and down to her sternum. She showed me reference images of similar tattoos on other people, beautiful intricate designs of moths and moons and celestial imagery. The first time she mentioned it, I felt something strange in my chest. Not quite anxiety, but something close to it. A tightness, an unease I couldn't quite name. I pushed it down, told myself I was being ridiculous. This was Emma's body, Emma's choice. I had no right to feel weird about it, but the feeling didn't go away. Every time she brought it up, which became more frequent as she finalized the design with her artist, that uncomfortable sensation returned. I'd smile and nod, trying to seem supportive, but inside I was wrestling with something I didn't understand. I started asking myself why it bothered me. Was I secretly more conservative than I thought? Was I worried about what other people would think? Was I being possessive, like I had some claim over her body? None of those explanations felt quite right, but I couldn't figure out what was actually going on in my head. I talked to my best friend Marcus about it one night over drinks. He's known me since college, knows me better than almost anyone. I explained the situation, expecting him to tell me I was being an idiot, that I needed to get over myself. Instead, he was thoughtful about it. He asked me questions. Was it the placement that bothered me? The size? The visibility? Did I think it would change how I saw her? Did I think it would change how she saw herself? That last question stuck with me. Would it change how she saw herself? Or was I worried it would change how I saw her? And if so, what did that say about me? Marcus didn't give me easy answers. He just said that feelings aren't always logical, but that I needed to be honest with Emma if it was really bothering me. He also reminded me that ultimately it was her decision, and I needed to be prepared to either accept it or accept that maybe we weren't compatible. That conversation haunted me for weeks. I kept going back and forth. Some days I'd convince myself it was fine, that I was overthinking everything, that I'd see the finished tattoo and love it just like I loved all her others. Other days, the anxiety would spike, and I'd imagine her with this large, prominent piece, and something in me would recoil. I hated myself for feeling that way. Emma deserved someone who supported her unconditionally, who celebrated her self-expression, who loved every choice she made about her own body. I want to be that person. I tried so hard to be that person, but I also couldn't shake the feeling that this was different somehow. Her other tattoos felt like additions, like beautiful accessories that enhanced who she already was. This one felt like it would dominate, become the first thing people noticed about her. And I couldn't figure out if that bothered me because of how others would see her, or because of how I would see her, or because I was worried it would change the dynamic between us somehow. I know how shallow that sounds. Believe me, I know. I've beaten myself up about it constantly. Emma is so much more than her appearance. She's brilliant, kind, funny, passionate, creative. She's the person who remembers small details about my day, who leaves encouraging notes in my lunch, who stays up late talking about everything and nothing. The idea that I could be bothered by something as superficial as a tattoo made me feel like the worst kind of person. So I said nothing. Week after week, as she refined the design, as she put down her deposit, as she scheduled her first session, I stayed quiet. I told myself I was being supportive by not saying anything. I told myself my feelings would change once it was done. I told myself I just needed to get over it. Emma was so excited. She'd come home from work and immediately pull up the design on her tablet, showing me tiny modifications her artist had made. She'd talk about the symbolism, how the moths represented transformation, and the moon phases represented the cycles of life and creativity. She'd already planned out her outfit for the appointment, something with a low neckline that would give the artist easy access. She'd researched aftercare extensively, bought special soap and healing balm, cleared her schedule for the day after in case she needed rest. Watching her excitement should have made me happy. Instead, it made the knot in my stomach tighter. Every conversation about the tattoo felt like a countdown to something I wasn't ready for. But I kept smiling, kept nodding, kept pretending everything was fine. Then, this morning, everything came to a head. Emma woke up practically glowing with excitement. Her first session was scheduled for next week, and she'd just gotten confirmation from her artist that everything was set. She made us coffee and sat down across from me at our small kitchen table, pulling up the final design on her phone. "It's really happening," she said, her eyes bright. "I can't believe after all this planning, it's finally happening. I'm so ready." I looked at the design again. It really was beautiful. Objectively, artistically, it was stunning work. The artist was incredibly talented. But as I imagined it on Emma's chest, that permanent mark, that prominent placement, my stomach dropped. She must have seen something in my face because her smile faltered. "What's wrong?" she asked. I should have said nothing. I should have smiled and told her I was excited for her. I should have kept my mouth shut for one more week, let her have this moment, dealt with my feelings on my own. But something in me broke. Maybe it was the pressure of holding it in for so long. Maybe it was the finality of it, knowing that once she got it, there was no going back. Maybe I just couldn't lie anymore. "Can we talk about this?" I heard myself say. Her face shifted from confusion to concern. "Talk about what?" "The tattoo." I nodded, my heart racing. I want to be honest with you about something." She set down her phone, her full attention on me now. "Okay, what is it?" I took a breath, trying to find the right words. "I love you. I love your passion. I love your art. I love your tattoos. You know that, right?" "Of course," she said slowly, but I could see the wariness in her eyes now. She knew something was coming. "And this is completely your choice. Your body, your decision. I'm not trying to tell you what to do." I was fumbling, trying to cushion what I was about to say. "But I need to be honest. This chest piece, it feels different to me than your other tattoos. It's so much bigger, so much more visible. And I guess I'm having trouble with it." The silence that followed felt like it lasted forever. Emma just stared at me, processing what I'd said. I watched emotions flicker across her face. Confusion, hurt, anger, disbelief. "You're having trouble with it," she repeated, her voice flat. "I don't know why exactly," I continued, desperate to explain. "I've been trying to figure out for months. It's not that I don't think it's beautiful. It's not that I don't support your right to get it. I prefer your tattoos the way they are now. And this one feels like maybe it's too much. Too much." The words hung in the air between us like poison. The moment they left my mouth, I wanted to take them back, but it was too late. I watched Emma's face completely collapse, all the joy and excitement draining away, replaced by something that looked like betrayal. "Too much," she said quietly. "My passion is too much for you." "That's not what I meant," I said quickly. I'm just trying to be honest about how I feel. After months of pretending to be supportive, her voice was rising now. After watching me plan this, save for this, get excited about this, you're telling me now, a week before my appointment, that you think it's too much? I didn't want to upset you, I said weakly. Well, congratulations. You've succeeded in crushing my passion instead. She stood up abruptly, her chair scraping against the floor. Do you have any idea how much this means to me? How long I've been planning this? And you're sitting here telling me you'd prefer if I just stayed the way I am, like I'm some object that you get to have opinions about? It's not like that, I protested. I'm not trying to control you. I'm just being honest about my feelings. Your feelings about my body, she shot back. How would you feel if I suddenly told you I had a problem with something you were passionate about? If I said your hobbies or your choices were too much for me? I didn't have a good answer for that. She was right, and we both knew it. If she'd suddenly expressed discomfort with something I cared deeply about, something I'd been planning for over a year, I'd be devastated too. I'm not stopping you, I said, grasping for something, anything that might make this better. I'm just telling you how I feel. You can still get it. It's still your choice. Oh, how generous of you, she said bitterly. I can still get it. I'll just know that my boyfriend thinks it's too much, that he'll be looking at me differently, that he preferred me before. That's so much better. Emma, please. I reached for her hand, but she pulled away. I need space, she said, her voice breaking. I can't even look at you right now. She grabbed her phone and walked to our bedroom, closing the door firmly behind her, not slamming it, which somehow felt worse. A slam would have been anger. The controlled close was hurt, disappointment, something deeper and more painful. That was hours ago. I've been sitting in our living room ever since, replaying the conversation over and over, hating myself more with each repetition. I've texted her multiple times. Apologies, explanations, declarations of love. All of them have gone unanswered. I can hear her moving around in the bedroom occasionally, but she hasn't come out. She hasn't responded to a single message. I keep thinking about what Marcus said about being honest versus being supportive. I thought I was doing the right thing by finally telling her the truth. Isn't honesty supposed to be the foundation of a good relationship? Aren't you supposed to be able to share your feelings with your partner? But sitting here in this awful silence, I'm realizing that honesty without wisdom is just cruelty. Yes, I was honest, but my timing was terrible, my delivery was worse, and my actual feelings are something I haven't even fully processed myself. I dumped my confusion and discomfort onto her at the worst possible moment, right when she was at her most excited and vulnerable. And for what? What did my honesty actually accomplish? It didn't change anything. She's still going to get the tattoo, or at least she should. But now instead of approaching it with pure joy, she'll be carrying my judgment with her. She'll be second-guessing herself, wondering if I'll still find her attractive, questioning whether I really accept her for who she is. The worst part is, I don't even know if my discomfort is valid or if it's just my own insecurity manifesting in a destructive way. Am I genuinely bothered by the tattoo, or am I bothered by what it represents? Emma's independence, her willingness to make permanent choices without needing my approval, her confidence in her own vision for herself. Maybe what really scares me is that Emma doesn't need me to be okay with her choices. She's gonna live her life, pursue her passions, make her own decisions whether I'm comfortable with them or not. And maybe that's what I'm actually struggling with, the realization that I don't have control, that I never did, that she's her own complete person who exists independently of my preferences. If that's true, then I'm an even worse person than I thought, because that would mean I'm not uncomfortable with a tattoo. I'm uncomfortable with Emma's autonomy, and that's not something I can blame on aesthetics or visibility or any of the excuses I've been telling myself. I think about the Emma I fell in love with 2 years ago in that coffee shop. The confident, self-assured artist who knew exactly who she was and didn't apologize for it. That's the Emma I claim to love. But did I really love her, or did I just love the version of her that existed within my comfort zone? Real love means supporting someone's growth even when it makes you uncomfortable. Real love means celebrating their joy even when you don't fully understand. Real love means recognizing that your partner's body, choices, and dreams are theirs alone, and your role is to be their champion, not their critic. I failed at that today, spectacularly. I let my own unexamined feelings take priority over her happiness. I made her moment about me. I turned something she was excited about into something she now has to defend. And I did it all under the guise of honesty, like that made it noble instead of selfish. The sun is setting now. Emma still hasn't come out of the bedroom. I've stopped texting because because I realize that more words from me are probably the last thing she needs right now. She needs space to process, to feel her feelings, to decide what this means for us. I'm terrified that when she finally does come out, when she finally does speak to me, she's going to tell me this is over. And I wouldn't blame her. Why would she want to be with someone who makes her feel judged for expressing herself? Who waits until the worst possible moment to voice concerns? Who claims to love her but clearly has conditions on that love? But I'm also holding on to a small hope that maybe if I can find the right words, if I can actually process what's going on inside me and communicate it better, we can get through this. Not by me convincing her not to get the tattoo. That ship has sailed and should sail. But by me genuinely working through whatever is making me uncomfortable and coming to a place of real, unconditional support. Because here's what I know for certain. Sitting here in the fading light of our apartment, listening to the silence from the other room, Emma with a chest tattoo will still be Emma. She'll still be the brilliant, passionate, creative person I fell in love with. She'll still leave notes in my lunch and stay up late talking with me and make me laugh until my sides hurt. The tattoo doesn't change who she is at her core. If it changes anything, it will only be because I let it. If I can't see past my own discomfort to the person underneath, that's my failure, not hers. And that's what I need to tell her when she's ready to hear it. I need to tell her that I was wrong. Not wrong to have feelings. Maybe feelings are never wrong, but wrong in how I handled them. Wrong to make them her problem. Wrong to wait until now to say anything. Wrong to frame it as her doing something too much instead of me needing to examine why I feel the way I do. I need to tell her that I support her getting this tattoo fully and completely. Not as a concession, but as a celebration. That I'm sorry for tainting something she was so excited about. That I'm going to work on whatever is going on inside me that made me react this way. But that work is mine to do, not hers to manage. I need to tell her that I love her, the real her, the complete her, the her that makes her own choices about her own body and doesn't need my permission or approval. That I'm sorry it took me this long to really understand what that means. Most of all, I need to tell her that she deserves better than what I gave her today. Better than a partner who says he supports her, but secretly hopes she'll change her mind. Better than someone who claims to love her confidence, but gets uncomfortable when she exercises it. Better than honesty without thought, words without wisdom, feelings without responsibility. Whether she'll want to hear any of that, I don't know. Whether she'll forgive me, I don't know. Whether we can move past this, I genuinely don't know. But I know I have to try. I know I have to do better. As I sit here in the growing darkness, I make a decision. Tomorrow, if she's willing to talk, I'm going to apologize properly. Not a defensive apology with excuses and explanations, but a real one that acknowledges the hurt I caused. I'm going to tell her to keep her appointment. I'm going to offer to go with her if she wants support, or give her space if she doesn't. I'm going to work on myself, maybe talk to a therapist about why I reacted this way, figure out what's really going on beneath the surface. And then I'm going to spend however long it takes proving to her that I can be the partner she deserves. The one who celebrates her, not just tolerates her. The one who supports her dreams instead of questioning them. The one who loves all of her unconditionally, tattoos and all. Because that's what love actually is. Not comfort, not agreement, not having a partner who stays within the boundaries of your preferences. Love is choosing someone completely, supporting their growth even when it's uncomfortable, celebrating their joy even when you don't fully understand. I thought I understood that before, but sitting here, feeling the weight of my mistake, understanding the depth of the hurt I caused, I'm realizing I had no idea. Love isn't just accepting someone as they are. It's encouraging them to become who they want to be, even if that person is different from what you imagine, even if it challenges you, even if it requires you to grow too. Emma deserves that kind of love, and I need to become the kind of person who can give it to her. Whether she gives me that chance or not is up to her. But either way, I've learned something important today, even if I learned it in the worst possible way. Your discomfort with someone else's choices says more about you than it does about them. And if you truly love someone, your job isn't to shape them into someone you're comfortable with. Your job is to examine why you're uncomfortable and work on that, while celebrating who they are and who they're becoming. I just hope I get the chance to show Emma I've learned that lesson. I hope she comes out of that bedroom eventually. I hope she'll listen when I apologize. I hope she'll still get her tattoo and love it as much as she planned to. And I hope somehow we can find our way back to each other stronger and more honest than before. But right now, all I can do is wait and hope and promise myself to do better, to be better for her and for myself. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more real relationship experiences and the lessons we learn from them.